All right, the recording is going.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Pete Mansfield, and I'm in charge of the housekeeping, security, and transportation departments for here at Wesley Village. Today, we're going to be doing some mindful meditation or some Zen meditation. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that our body's in a good position in order to do that. So what I'd like to do is I want to make sure that my feet are flat on the ground. I don't want my feet to be under my chair or out in front of me because that might not have good circulation for my legs. I want to make sure that I keep my feet flat so that my knees and my legs are kind of at a right angle, okay? So my feet are flat, my knees are bent, so I have a right angle with my legs, and then right my hip, my back, I want to make sure that I'm keeping myself up nice and tall. So I have my hips up tall, my back up tall, my shoulders back, and then my chin nice and flat or parallel to the ground. So that way my body is full of all these right angles. This, my neck or my chin and my neck, my back, my seat, my legs, my feet. So nice right angles, okay? My shoulders, I want to make sure my shoulders are back. I don't want to hunch them forward because again, any of these positions, by either hunching forward or leaning forward or have my legs extended, what that means is I might not be in a good posture for my body to allow the circulation to move well, which does two things. First of all, as we're getting all that nice, good oxygen into our body, we want to make sure it's getting everywhere. But also, if I'm not in good posture, I could end up with my leg falling asleep or some neck pain from leaning forward too far. So the better posture I have, typically the longer I can meditate for. Keep in mind though that our bodies are much different, our ages are different, and therefore you might find that you are uncomfortable in some of the positions that I just talked about. So in that case, erase what I just said and find yourself a comfortable position. Whatever works well for you is going to work well for me as well. Okay? So I'm in that posture. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hands in a mudra or a hand position. The one that I like is called a cosmic mudra, and I basically take my strong hand and cup my weaker hand and then touch the tips of my thumbs together, just like that, making a nice oval. So not pointed up, not dropping down, but a nice oval position. And then I can drop my hands right into my lap. I don't want to lean on the arms of the chair. I want to drop them into my lap just so that my body is supporting itself. Okay? If this position is not comfortable for you, you can also grab onto your thumb and make a fist, or you can just grab onto your own fist. Those are all common positions. A lot of people also like just putting one hand on top of each other, just like that, and resting it in your lap. What you don't want to do is you don't want to interlace your fingers because, again, that can cause circulation and it might be uncomfortable for your knuckles as well. So I would stay away from that position. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on our breathing. We want to make sure that you're breathing in nice and deep through your nose and filling up your lungs all the way down to the bottom of your stomach. So a nice deep breath, breathing in, filling up all the way down, and then hold it and then let it out slow through your mouth. In your nose, deep, and then out of your mouth. As you do that, you can count your breath to make sure that it's correct. So a lot of times as you breathe in, you can breathe in for 5 seconds. And then as you breathe out, you can breathe out for 6 seconds. So you're always breathing out a little bit more than you're actually breathing in. So there's always air that's trapped in there. Okay? So breathing in and breathing out. My eyes, I want to lower my eyes down so that I'm kind of just looking in front of me. I don't want to look with my chin. I want to look just with my eyes. By lowering my eyes, it will help keep me awake so I'm not falling asleep. But it closes my eyelids most of the way. So that way I don't have to blink as often. It's kind of a funny little trick when you think about it. So I'm going to lower my eyes down just like this in my position. Okay. Now as I'm breathing, I'm going to do what I need to do with my mind. And what I want to do with my mind is as I'm breathing in, I want to use a mantra to make it easier. I can say clear mind. As I breathe out, I can say no mind, focusing on the words. Clear mind as you're breathing in, no mind. And as you're doing that, you're going to have thoughts that kind of come into your head. And what you want to do is acknowledge those thoughts because they're important. They're coming into your mind, but then just let them go. You're not doing it incorrectly if you are thinking of things. That happens. That's what our brain is supposed to do. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to spiral with those thoughts. So we don't want to connect them to other things. So, my stomach just growled as a thought that I had. And then I think about, oh, wow, I'm so embarrassed I just did that on camera, which might lead into what am I having for dinner today? And that's where I'm kind of losing my thought. What I want to do is kind of wrap myself around that, bring myself right back and recenter myself and say, oh, my mind is wandering again. Let me bring myself back to clear mind, no mind. You can reset yourself as many times as you need to. This is considered a practice. It's not a perfection, it's a practice. Like everything that's practice, it takes practice. Okay? So that being said, we're in this position, we're in this posture, our mind is ready, so we're going to go for a mindful meditation. What I want you to do is acknowledge what's going on in your area. Think about how the seat feels, think about how your body feels, think about the wind on your face as things are blowing around. Be part of all that, don't ignore it, okay? So here we go. Very good. So that was an 8-minute meditation. You might feel really good right now, nice and relaxed. Might feel really good because of all that oxygen coming into your body, much more calm. You might have, while you're going through it, also had the experience of the entire time thinking about whether you were doing it right or your mind wandering and therefore thinking that you weren't doing it correct. And just remember, as I said, always bring yourself back to you are doing it correctly. Just let those thoughts go and then start over again. Clear mind, no mind. Meditation is good for not just your health and de-stressing, but also a lot of times it can help your mind with things that you might need to accomplish, or focus for one thing. The way I always think about it is sometimes you might be doing a task that's very difficult, something that, I don't know, let's say you're putting together a piece of furniture from IKEA, that's something that I can relate with, and you just can't seem to get it to work correctly. No matter how hard you try, it just doesn't seem to go your way. So what do? You put it down, you walk away, you do something else. And then when you come back to it, it makes sense. You didn't look at it the right way the first time, or you tried something differently. You were able to see it differently, and therefore you were able to accomplish that task better. So what you don't realize is that when you went off to do that other thing, whatever that other thing was, you meditated. Whether you went to go wash the dishes, or whether you went to go just read the paper, or whether you just went to go watch TV for a couple minutes, your mindset went into that tone, that meditation tone, where your full intention and attention was focused on something. And you were no longer kind of attached to the anger and the frustration that you had when you were trying to accomplish that task. So then when you came back, your mind was more clear. It was open, and you were able to see something that maybe you didn't see before. So meditation can help you, especially when times are stressful, and a way to ground yourself, bring you back. And just as simple as, taking a couple deep breaths, a couple minutes of just sitting down, some quiet, just focus on what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to do another meditation, another couple minutes. If you wanted to, you can stand up for a minute and just, take a second to stretch out your bones a little bit, and then have a seat right back down. And if you feel like you need to stand for a little bit longer, then by all means, why don't you do that? And then you can just join in with us afterwards. Once you're all set, get into that posture again, that position. Feet are flat, legs are out in front of you, so they're not too far out. They're kind of at that right angle. I'm sitting up nice and straight. My shoulders are back. My chin is nice and parallel with the floor. My hands are in my proper mudra, whatever's comfortable for you. I lower my eyes down, and I start my breathing. Clear mind, no mind, and we begin. Very good. And at the end of that session, we're going to just put our hands in a humble position and a small bow to finish. An excellent job. It was almost 9 minutes for the second session. So you should feel really relaxed by now. A good thing you could do to practice your meditation, you can try to put some time to the side each day to practice. Just a couple of minutes will do. You could also use meditation before you try to fall asleep at night. We don't have to be, married to this position. You can certainly, while you're laying in bed, do the same breathing, the same mindset. Obviously, outdoors is a great place too. We have beautiful grounds. As you're walking, you can stop at one of the benches and sit and meditate for a few minutes. To share a story, one of my favorite places for myself to meditate is actually in like a forest, a small wooded area when it's raining, to hear the rain coming down and how it sounds off of all the leaves and on the ground, and of course the smell and the feeling of it hitting your body. It's a really unique experience. So it's something that I do enjoy doing. So find an area that you like to meditate and put some time into meditation in that place. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to meditating with you again soon. Thank you so much.